Tadej Pogacar is at it again. He's obliterated the field at Strade Bianche for the third year in a row. And in this video, we're going to take a look at his biomechanics. And the first thing we're going to look at is how he's pulling up on the handlebars to drive force downward. All right, so when we think about driving force in the bike, we want to think about pulling up on the handlebars, stabilizing with our lats, keeping our core nice and tight, and then pressing down into the glutes to drive force into the quad and down into the pedal stroke. So what you'll see here is that Tadej's motion really starts by pulling up on the handlebar here. And you can see that every time he starts his downstroke, you're going to see this little flick of an elbow here, right? So he's pressing down. That side-to-side swagger on his upper body is coming from contracting that core every single time. Every downstroke. You can see it over and over and over again. Right? While it's counterintuitive, you want to think of your handlebars kind of being like the back of a leg press machine. That's the thing you push against to drive force forward. So the second thing to take a look at here is he's got a pretty good blend of prioritizing respiratory rate while still being pretty aero. Yes, he could close this gap up in the front, but at the cost of increasing his respiratory rate, which is then going to probably, create more overall load. And that's not his rider composition, right? His game plan as an athlete is to break athletes over time. So to be the best after 4.5, 5 hours. And so when he's making that decision on what he's prioritizing in his rider model, that slightly more upright position, slightly less load on his respiratory rate is making him more efficient over long periods of time. So he's a little bit more upright, not quite as aero as some guys, but clearly it's working out really well for him because he's driving a lot of force to the pedal over duration. So now let's take a look at the lower body here. It's really interesting to see his muscular engagement. So you'll see Pogacar's all downstroke. He's got absolutely no engagement on the upstroke. He's not pulling up at all. Personally, I've tried it both ways, downstroke focus, downstroke and upstroke focus. I think pulling up on your pedal stroke is really dumb. And you can see Pogacar here, you can see with the white shorts, all the engagement on the downstroke, right? And just nothing on the upstroke. Absolutely nothing on the upstroke. He's just light as a feather on the upstroke. Boom. Where he does start to pull is right here at the 11 o'clock position. You can see he's driving that hip over the top of the stroke to try to get that glute engagement. And you'll see that glute engagement right here. See that muscle flare up here in his glute, right? So he's